So what's your current job role as a tradeswoman slash woman in the power tool industry?
So my current job role, I am a Tig Welder for Ginetta Cars. So I am specifically and only a Tig Welder. I do not do any other forms of welding. I do certain and specific parts to the car, so I don't do all the car, so I don't do the chassis, things like that, but I do all wishbones, anti-roll bars and a number of other things.
So what enticed you to this role?
Being honest, it was a case of I was looking at the options in high school and in sixth form that were given to me, and none of them suited me in any way, shape or form. I was quite arty at the time, but I didn't feel like that was anywhere I wanted to go. I didn't personally at the time want to attend university. So I decided to go to college to see what they had to offer as a more hands-on job. They ended up obviously offering me the classic hairdressing and nails, and I was like, no, I want something even more hands-on than that. So that's when they said, well, you can do mechanical engineering and welding, so which was a course that came hand in hand. So you did a machining course, and which was like lathe work and things like that, and then you did a welding course on the side of it, which was originally stick welding at the time. And that's how I started off. I did a few lessons and I was like, this is so much fun. I want to do this forever. Go on then.
That's so cool. What is the biggest challenge you face as a woman in your job?
The biggest challenge I felt like I faced is the automatic misconception that people are going to immediately come in and go, oh, well, you can't lift anything. Everyone has to do all that for you. The idea a lot of the time that people think you will get away with murder due to the fact that you are female and people let you off. And the general odyssey of the fact that you can walk onto a site and people will go, oh, you're here to do paperwork. When in actual fact that is obviously far from the case. I've walked into sites and I've had people go, excuse me love, this isn't for 16-year-olds, we'd ask you to leave.
Oh my god.
And I've turned around and said, well, actually I'm here to do your welding, and automatically it's a case of, oh, I'm so sorry, and it's instant. They know what they've done, but it's that instant regret of discrimination that they've realised.
It's like they've just got a bias of what someone's going to look like. Do you feel that your contributions are valued and respected in your role?
In my workplace and in previous workplaces, yes. Out on site, not always, because it's a different kind of environment with different people from multiple backgrounds. But in my environment in the racing industry and the environment I used to be in the construction industry, yes, I believe multiple amounts of support is given. In areas that I do genuinely struggle with, like lifting, I am not massively hench, unlike some women genuinely are. So I do need help in those departments, and I am supported completely and utterly in that factor.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable do you feel in your workplace?
10. Straight off by 10.
Perfect scores. If given the opportunity, what changes would you make to ensure working in trades is more inclusive and accommodating to women?
I'd like to see more push put forward for women. So even from that younger age of me, when I was 16, coming out of high school, looking for a career, and I had to push to find that where it's not an option that's given. It'd be nice to see more engineering and more roles that are more desired in the men's eyes, in a sense, to be given to women, and that opportunity pushed forward more. It shouldn't be so far and few between. Every college, of course, and every course I have ever attended, I have only ever been the female. And I think that's because it isn't pushed enough to women, because women have the automatic, oh well, it's heavy lifting and I can't do that, when in a lot of cases it isn't at all. How
do you build and maintain positive relationships with your colleagues in the workplace?
I think as a female, building relationships isn't too hard, because in some aspects people want to get to know you, because it is kind of strange to some that you are a woman in this industry. But I think being confident and being able to push yourself forward to build those relationships is key. As you get a lot of time with women where they start in a very male orientated industry and don't always want to start that conversation and be that kind of first step in talking to people, that a lot of the time they will just sit in the corner. And I know from women that I know that it's easier just to stay silent and step back.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to be forward and let yourself known and allow them to see that you are there too as a fair and equal colleague. And I think once that's established, after that it's quite smooth sailing.
Yeah.
From my own personal perspectives, that is anyway.
Yeah. Can you describe a time when you felt particularly valued or supported by a customer or colleague in your role?
So at the first company I ever worked for, we used to have a lot of people on the odd occasion that would come into the workshop asking for things welding up randomly. It could be anything from garden chairs to a broken bike. And we once had an older gentleman come in, and he saw me at the back of the workshop, and he knew my boss at the time, and he was over the moon and thrilled that I was a female welder and that he'd got a female welder and how interesting. He immediately came over to talk to me and wanted to know about like how I got into it and everything. He begged my boss for me to do the job because he wanted to see what skills I had and how I could do. I did this job for him. He came out the next day to pick it up. He was absolutely overwhelmed, and he said, he turned to me and he said, "I've seen welders welding 15 years that aren't half as good as you. It's so nice to see a woman in this industry." And he literally came back the next week with like 2 or 3 more people to be like, "Oh, I've got some jobs that I wondered if you'd be able to do for me." And it made me feel like quite, even though it's only something small, it's nice to see someone, especially in such an older generation, be quite, to see that and enjoy it. And enjoy it so much and be able to go, well, actually, do you know what? I'm going to bring someone else to come see as well, because it's nice. It's an exciting thing to see, and it's exciting to see these people excited by me just going to work 9 to 5.
Yeah, so you feel like it's an advantage to be a woman sometimes in the workplace, like people kind of like they celebrate it.
It is sometimes it is nice to have that kind of advantage and people be keen. I will admit that advantage does have downsides, but it is still nice.
When you get a nice customer, it's nice.
When you get someone who's lovely.
What advice would you give to a fellow woman looking to get into the trades power tool industry?
Honestly, just do it. Don't hesitate. Even though it looks scary and it seems nerve-wracking and all the other worries that everybody has about it, don't. Because the second, if you are into being creative, if you are into hands-on work, don't shy away from it, because it's one of the best jobs ever. I go to work in the morning, I have a great laugh with my friends. I basically paint pictures with metal. I just stick things together with molten steel, and it's fun. And you get that, and people don't show how actually exciting the job is day to day. It's not the same thing over and over. It's always something new.
Do you think that's why you made the Instagram page, just to show how fun it is?
Being honest, I made the Instagram page because I was going through a tough time being able to actually like my own work. At the time, I was having a lot of criticism from a lot of people that didn't believe that I had the ability to do what I do for a living. And I decided, there's another woman on Instagram that I follow called Michaela, and she kind of inspired me to a sense to just post it and go for it, because like all I'm doing is showing people my work and hoping that they like it too. And as weird as it is, I've heard people class it as self-centered, and if that's what it is, then that's what it is. But I enjoy showing other people my work and showing that a small skinny blonde girl can do that, because if I can do it, literally anybody else can.
When did you first think, I want to get into trades, and was there a significant moment for you?
No, being honest, it was just a case of I'd always been very hands-on working, and when it was explained to me what welding is like and how it works, I just thought, oh, that sounds really interesting. That sounds like something I could get on board with. It sounds fun. And being honest, I had a lot of people being like, you can make some great money from it. And I was like, well, I like money. I want to make money, and I currently don't know how. And then when I did the course, I did it part of a 2-week trial, and I thought, sorry, I'll do 2 weeks and see how it goes. I did 2 stick welds, and I was sold. I did 2 runs, and I was like, yeah, I'm happy. I'm done. Sorted. Get me a job.
Yeah, that's amazing. Do you have any female role models in the industry who inspire you?
Yeah, so definitely Michaela's metal art. She, as much as like, I wouldn't say it's like fangirl, but she was one that I saw on Instagram, and I was like, wow, she's just like, she's not a big butch girl that's like doing all this stuff. Like, she's kind of just like a normal everyday lass, just like me, that's doing her job, and people like it. And do you know what I mean? And there's also another girl called Mel Davis, and she's the same. I started speaking to her a lot on Instagram, and made me realise that all the sometimes worries I have of being a female welder are just the same as every other.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, it kind of, the fact that you're all slightly different to everybody else kind of unites you as a group.
Yeah.
Which is weird, but yeah, so I'd definitely say those two, because they are both great people as well. Like, I spoke to Mel loads, and I speak to Michaela on the rare occasion. So yeah, definitely those two.